Hey everybody, that's Pete. I'm Andy. This is Pete and Andy Talk Ski on your TV. The Snow League first ever ski event just happened. We're going to tell you all about that. We also are going to have maybe the biggest announcement we've ever had. Pete, is that possible? We're also going to tell you all about the Olympic qualifying, especially for the U.S. team, who's close, who maybe made it, and all the things that are happening. Pete, what do you say we start off with Snow League? What did you think? Will it take over X Games? Will it take over the World Cup? Will it take over the Galaxy?
That's a lot of questions, like right off the bat about that.
It makes it sound more interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I should start with like positives. The bib vests that they had, those were cool.
That's your number one takeaway for the positives? Yes, the bib vests are dope, and Shaun White has one, and you don't. So
yeah, I don't. I never will. But no, those were cool. I think for the Snow League event, it was cool. Obviously, the weather wasn't super ideal there, but the wall that they have on the side of the pipe, made it pop off.
That's insane that they built an entire wind wall for that event. I love it. It's insane, but I love it.
It's dope. Mammoth Mountain, where are you at? Put the wind wall up.
Right? Yeah. Catch up.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good event. We had a couple people who didn't compete in it, which kind of pushed people, Gus Kenworthy most notably, into that second round. So I don't know.
More on that later. Yep.
Yeah, overall it was good. I guess I just got to get right to my gripes because I got some gripes.
Wow. Well, okay. Yeah, before you list your things that you hate, let me say there's a lot of things I liked, but the number one thing that I liked, and I can't believe I'm saying this, was the hot mics, the open mic whole situation. That needs to be a thing.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, I can't see anything.
That is entertainment. Is just the full time, everyone being mic'd up. And after about 5 minutes of being mic'd up, you forget pretty much for the rest of the day that you have a mic. And that was, to me, glaringly obvious because people were just saying whatever they wanted. I love it.
We got extra.
I'm
so sorry, dude.
Experience.
I think so too, and especially if you go hot mic, and it was most notable to me in the final with Luke Harold. And it was he has kind of what he says before he drops, but you're here, you're there, you're listening to it. And I completely agree. It's amazing. It brings you as a viewer oh man, this is how these athletes prep. This is what they're thinking, saying before they go. Super cool. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I'll really give credit to the announcers, to Tom and the other. I don't know the other guys' names, but Tom, the other guys, because when they were up, they wouldn't talk. They would just let them talk on the mic and do the thing, and you could listen to them do. They did a really good job of not trying to overcompensate, both, and let that be a big part of it, because that was I loved it. That was super cool. Huge fan.
I think the flip side of that is the show itself was so incredibly long that, to be honest with you,
long.
Tom and whoever else, whenever they could catch a break, were probably sweet, I finally don't have to say something. I'd love to hear Tom's opinion on it, because I feel he's so great on the mic. He's our favorite, everybody's favorite, to call an event. But wow, was there a lot of time to fill, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's tough for Tom too, because let's be real, he's the only ski guy there. I mean, they do a fine job, right, of, talking about the event and doing the thing, but Tom's the only one that knows anything about skiing. You know what I mean? The other guy, they're fine on TV and, they can fake it. But, if you want anything of substance, it goes through Tom. And that's a lot. I'm sure he didn't mind, but it's a lot to have to be on for 6 hours on TV and find interesting things to talk about.
For sure. And I think that would be something I'd love to see change into the next one, is give Tom somebody knowledgeable to back him up. Right. And again, they do it. You see it in all these different formats, whether it's X Games. We don't really hear much announcing from FIS events because their coverage is terrible. But, you can give somebody who knows just a little bit more about skiing, but not as much as Tom, and they play off each other.
Yeah.
This, this snow league might have failed a little bit because the guy that he had backing him up knew nothing, like
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. And so
Yeah.
that was a little rough, but of course Tom did a great job. Gold star in
Yeah,
my book.
but yeah, it's still, to me, it's still fine, right? Like, I would rather, like, you could obviously tell, right? Like, it's the way it is now. It's still a snowboard event, and they're bringing skiers along, and I'm fine with that, right? Like, I would rather that than for them to be like, yeah, let's just not do skiing at all. Like, right? Like, you can kind of do like skiing on the side and still pay the athletes out, right? And like run a TV show and not have it be a main, like, Shaun White was a snowboarder, right? Like, I had no idea if before this he even knew the name of any skiers. So I am totally good with the whole thing. But yeah, I would like to see them, on the production side, include some skiing as it goes along. But yeah, I'm still, I'm not complaining. I'm just, it would be nice when they're running like interviews of snowboarders in the downtime, between
I know.
runs. It's like, that's not super relevant, but
It's
yeah,
not.
okay,
And then you look that like FMI didn't compete, right?
yeah,
So and he was there. So bring him on in your in
yeah,
between time. Talk to him about his off season. Let's
yeah,
hear how
dude.
it's going, this and that, what
Have
happened at the event.
Yeah,
Have him give some hot takes. Like again, it's like, yes, it's a snowboard centric event, and we are so happy to be included. We're
yeah.
excited to see this unfold into the future. But like when it does go to the free ski event, let's give it a little more free ski, right?
Bro, like, even have like the mic'd up athletes doing practice runs, right? Like, even do that. Like, that was so interesting to me. Like, you could have just had someone with, a camera follow around Goepper or anybody, Dave, whoever, and just have the mic'd up moments happen. Maybe, whatever, toss it around a little bit. Like, that would have been better to me. Like, that would have been more interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and to kind of slide into my gripes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're
No,
not
no, no.
gripes. They're just
It's time. Yeah, yeah.
they're like suggestions. So we talked a little bit, but like the overall show itself was very, very long, right? Like by the
Yeah.
time they like rolled around to the actual competition head to head runs, I was like almost over it because of the length of time in between. But when it got to the event
Got late that
itself,
time.
I think that there's like a couple ways that you can like cut some time out of there. One of the issues I had is it's a lot of high consequence runs. Brendan MacKay,
Yes.
who took the W in this one, I think his total runs were 9 runs. But these were like
Yeah.
9 very high level competition runs. That's a lot
Yeah.
of runs. That's a
It's a lot.
ton. So in the first 2 rounds, just make it best run, right? And eliminate them having to go to that third run in case they tied. So it's just like you
Yeah.
posted a 90 on your first run and the other guy got a 92, and you go back and forth however it is, but eliminate those third runs, I think would help. And maybe you can bring that third run into the final format or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the head to head. I think they just need to cut some time and again the number of runs down, and
Yeah.
you could see it. You heard it in some of the commentary. I think it was the second round, like semifinal, and they were like, Tide had to go do a third. They were like, okay, like another one.
Another one.
That's
Yeah.
not what you want to hear from somebody
Right.
who's competing is like, oh my gosh, like another one to try to move on. That's a
Yeah.
lot of runs. I give credit to both Luke, Harold, and oh, why am I blanking on his name
Brendan
now?
MacKay.
Just said it. Yeah, Brendan, who won. That was a long
Yeah, the guy
day.
who won. Right.
Yeah, that
Um,
guy who won. That was a long day for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's just like hearing Sean talk when they had him on set too. Like, it sounds like he knows, right? It sounds like he knows that they have tweaking to do. And I love that they started from a big, ambitious vision, right? There's, again, nothing wrong with that. They're trying something big and crazy, and they're going to whittle it down into what it needs to be, I feel. So I'm, again, like yes, there's lots of stuff I think that you can pick apart and be like, I would change this, like but I like I really like the starting point. I really like that they're like,
sure.
we're going to do something weird. And yeah, and it's like, I don't know how much they're taking on, from an athlete point of view. You know what I mean? Like why, they ran the ladies and the men the way they did. Like there was lots of kind of weird decisions that I feel like probably I wouldn't have made, and I don't know why they made them. So maybe it was, because they've never done men and women on the same day before, right? Because I feel like in the snowboard snow league, they have a men's day and they have a ladies' day, and it's split.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they're trying this out, for the first time, like a new thing. So there's going to be bumps on the road.
Yeah, and I know that Sean will be receptive. To be honest, I'm glad he's the one leading the charge on this, right? If anybody's going to make positive changes and take that rider feedback, right? Then we don't see that in FIS. We don't see that anywhere else. So having him, being the guy on this, it's going to be great, right? I think it's going to continue to be great. The only other thing I'll say is just like vibe wise in China versus the first one they did in Aspen was different, right? Aspen had like the big lounge and we had stars, and I don't need stars at event, right? But like, dude, great crowd, like good vibe, little bit different in China. However, next one in Locks.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot, yeah. But the next one in Locks, dude, it's gonna pop off there. It's gonna be that one. I'm so excited for that one. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah,
they know how to put on a show there. Like, I'm not at all concerned. It's gonna be just fine. But yeah, there was like more people that were like paid to be there with cameras in the crowd than there were like actual people in the crowd. I mean, there was a lot of Eileen fans there, with signs and flags and stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume it's just a China thing where it's a little strange, and it's just, they don't have a lot of people there. And also it looked like they had like a dusting of snow at the resort. So it was open, ? Like, I'm not sure the resort was open. So could be anything.
Yeah. And to me, it didn't take away from the event. It was only the shots where they panned out.
No.
And there's like a few
Skiing
people there where
sweet.
I was kind of like, the event itself kind of zoomed in to the pipe. So good. So good. Yeah. Even with the high wind weather, Mammoth, get that wall. You can afford it, I think. I don't know how much wall costs. A wind wall.
I'm not sure. But yeah, it's quite the thing. So Pete, should we move on? Because we have...
Yeah, we can. I'm excited.
Pete, I feel like this is the biggest Pete and Andy announcement ever. And I'm thrilled to make this announcement, but I'm also thrilled that we get to do this. So, as you and I know many other people are aware, this year there's a lot of different events, right? We've got obviously the World Cups, that are mostly Olympic qualifying events. We've got just one X Games this year, but we're going to have 4 X Games, I guess, next year.
4, yep.
And we've got 2 snow leagues this year, but there's going to be more snow leagues. And so FIS has their Crystal Globe, right? That is for all the FIS events. And Snow League will have their, crowned champion, and X Games will have their, X Games winner. But there is no all-encompassing, league cup for all of skiing. There used to be. I forget what it was called, right? I don't know what it was called, but there used to be.
Started with an A, I think.
Yeah. So it used to be a real thing, and that went away for reasons that we don't need to get into right now. But that doesn't exist anymore. So Pete and I would like to formally introduce the Order of Park and Pipe Skiers, which is a list, I guess you could say, that Pete and I will manage, I guess you could say. Anyway, Pete, I like the name because it's, it's literally an order, right? Like a list, an order, but it's also an order, like a group, an organization, that will have this whole list, this whole thing. So it's very exciting. Can you think of a good abbreviation, how should we shorten it down? Should we just call it the order, or?
Well, I'm thinking the other one was the AFP.
Right. So it's a 3-letter thing?
It was a 3-letter deal. Rest in peace, by the way, AFP.
Yeah.
You guys ran a great list for a great long time.
They did great.
In terms of like kind of sticking with like a 3-letter thing and we're order of park and pipe, I would just call it the OPP list. Right?
Oh, so Pete, are you down with OPP?
I'm pretty sure I'm down with OPP. I mean, you know me. So.
Yeah. So
that's recognizable, right?
I mean, I feel like you won't forget it. You know what I mean? Like it just harkens back to somewhere in my memory. And so Pete, tell me, so will there be some kind of, very complicated, like well structured algorithm that, we will use to like, rank athletes? What?
Yeah, I mean, we got to do something like that. We'll use math to start with. We'll start with math. Basic math. And then, we'll probably go on and add some Pythagorean theorems and a little geometry in there as well.
Well, so here's what I think. You know how judges judge skiers at these events, right? Well, I think we should just be judges in our own right, and I think we should judge the events and judge the judges. That's what I think we should do. Like algorithms are great, but so I once heard Jonah Hill say there's nothing funny about a physically fit man. And I would like to say there's nothing funny about nothing entertaining about a perfectly working algorithm. So I want to, step away from that. And instead we can argue about, where we think points and lists and all that should happen. What do you think about that?
I agree. So what we're talking about too is we're talking about FIS events. We're talking about the X Games League. Yes. And we're talking about Snow League, all these different things, right? And at each given like league or event or whatever, you've got whatever for a setup, right? Like a slope style that happens in Stoneham, Quebec, right? Is typically not the same course that you're going to see in Locks. And you're going to see different skiers at the event. And so I think what we should do is all those things should carry weight. And also, at the end of the day, if I don't agree with the judging in it, then I think the points should change a little bit too, right? So we're not going to change where you ended in the event because we don't have that power yet. But what we'll do is say...
No one give us that power. It could be dangerous.
Please don't. But we can use this last Snow League as an example, right?
Let's do that.
I think the difference between number 1 and number 2 was minimal, and they should get very close to the same points on the OPP list that's right goes out to the world, because that was a very close final, like amplitude 1 for Brendan MacKay. However, technicality, I give 100% to Luke Harold.
I agree with that. So this is what I have written down. Okay. And let me know if I'm beating a dead horse. But in terms of, our criteria for judging your event are these: course quality. How good is your course? Does your course suck or is it awesome? Right? Judging quality. How good was your judging? Because the goodness knows sometimes the judging is terrible. But you know what? At Snow League, it was actually really good. Strength of athlete field. Who showed up to your event? Run quality, right? Like how good were the runs that actually went down? Like, I feel like, so again, like looking at, if I were to look at last year, talking about half pipe, like World Champs is probably the best event, right? Because I feel like it had all those things pretty solid. I would say, and you can disagree with me because that's the point of all this, I feel like World Champs was a better event than Snow League was that we just saw. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes, I would. I think the strength of field was better there, and I think, the pipe was running really good, and I don't know, judging format, I would say it was a better event.
Yeah. So I like this. So this is what I propose. We have different tiers for events, right? And the different tiers kind of like gives us a guideline on benchmarks on how to allocate points. So, and then a mediocre event, is a B tier event, and then kind of just an event that's like whatever is like a C tier event.
Yeah, I like the tiered events style. Also, I think in terms of run quality, the other factor that plays into it is weather, right?
100%. Yeah, course quality.
We've seen people win a World Cup in just the dumpiest weather with like not a full pull run, and you could have had a super strong field there, but like the level of competition, the quality of runs, because it was dictated by the weather, might bring that event down,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
just wasn't a great event, and I think taking weather into consideration is important, right? We can go back and look at the
I completely agree.
World Cup. Oh wait, that didn't even happen. You know what I mean? But like on the women's side, they took the qualification results. Are we going to rank those as high as like a true final
No.
and a good day in Dubai? No,
No.
not at all.
Would Stubai, would it be a B tier event for you? Would it be a C tier event? Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, I don't know. The men's field didn't even run.
Sure.
I don't know if the conditions were that great for women's qualifiers.
Yeah, it's tough to tell because there's no like video feed of any run whatsoever. Like,
Yeah, I feel like if
kinda
you're not
brutal.
running, either the male or the female side, and you're taking qualification from one event, like
it's
that
tough.
drops down to like a D tier event. And then
I
a
like
C
it.
tier to me would be like everybody did qualies and they took quali results. That's a C tier event. I don't
right.
know,
All right,
we'll have
fair.
to.
So
We're gonna.
if I were to hand out points for men's snow league, right? So you tell me what you think of this, because we said, yeah, Brendan and MacKay won, and it's an A tier event. I'd give him 100 points. I like to call him Pete and Andy points. 100 Pete and Andy points.
Pete and Andy points, dude. Take 'em.
But yeah, again, Luke Harold was like, I mean, so watching it live, I'm like, after the second run, I was like, man, they gave it to Brendan MacKay, and I was like, I might have given it to Luke Harold. Like, it was really close. I understand. Like, I'm totally fine with them, giving it to Brendan MacKay. Like, he performed very well. But man, Luke Harold, he's just
9 runs.
Yeah, he had a really, really solid run, and definitely the highest DD. So like for me, like, it was very close, and I wouldn't have been upset had Luke won. So do we give Luke Harold 95 points?
Yes.
80 points just behind? So then Gus Kenworthy. So usually the way it works is like 15, 20 points below each one, right? So where would you put Gus? 15 points would be 80. 20 points would be 75.
Yeah, so for Gus, because he didn't have to compete in the first round, straight to semifinal.
Yeah.
And then, I
and
think
he didn't
like
have to
his
compete
score,
against Goepper because Goepper got hurt, so he didn't have to compete in third or fourth.
Yeah, so that's where I would like bring his points farther down.
Yeah.
I would. He
I
would
agree.
go to like a 70. That would make up the gap if you just did 15 points, 15 points.
Yeah, so
he goes down to the 70.
And look, Gus skied awesome, right? Like,
big time.
Maybe the best run I've ever seen Gus do. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I was shocked and amazed. I was thrilled for Gus to see his run.
Yeah.
But just, with his path, and like, he wasn't going to beat Luke Harold or Brendan MacKay. But like, that's not saying that, like, he skied poorly. Like, they skied great. And yeah, I think he got third. I think he deserved third, but I do think he was, a step below the two of them. So I agree. I think 70 points is definitely fair.
Yeah, I think so too. And then, people, they said it a bunch there. You heard Luke say it on like the hot mic and stuff, but it was like, dude, it's crazy that he skied that well. He hasn't skied much in 4 years, but like the way I saw it is he skied better than he did 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. It's not like for me. It wasn't the gap of time that he skied. It was like the last time we saw you compete 4 years ago, like in the Olympics to now, you skied so much better, and that's insane, dude. He is. I don't know, not human.
I would
say he's not human.
Yeah, it was unreal. But I will also like to say that I think it's hilarious that Luke Harold is literally half the age of Gus and Dave.
For sure. He probably has so much cartilage left in his knees.
Yeah, imagine the amount of cartilage in that kid's knees. I do lot like, and again, little stuff like on the hot mic. and whatever too. Like when they were interviewing him and Dave afterward, and Dave was like, "Yeah, man, it was super sick. You skied awesome. Like good for you. Good luck in the next round." And then he was like, "But next event, I'm coming for you."
Yeah,
hopefully I can kick your ass one of these days.
You gotta throw that in there, though.
That is totally a Dave thing to say. I mean, he's joking a little bit, but he's totally not joking. You know what I mean? Like that's just, So it was little stuff like that I really, really enjoyed about Snow League. But yeah, and so women's field. What did you think about women's?
I mean, it was nice to see Eileen Gu back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she missed a bunch of last year, and for her, this was technically like a home event. I would say Tahoe, if they had one in Tahoe, would be more of a home event. But
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Level of skiing was great. Like Svea, I thought from the U.S. looked fantastic. Her amplitude and everything was big, and I think she bowed out like a little bit early. But overall,
she took a crash on her first hit. Yeah,
yeah, but overall, I mean, I thought it was a great event on the women's side.
Yeah. No, I thought Eileen. It's like you could tell, like she wasn't super sharp, right? Like she does not look like she wants to do both flat fives in the same run. The last time she did that, I feel like was a year ago at Copper, right? And that's also what she took her slam on in Copper. So you can tell, like, her confidence is 100% there. But, like, the upper part of her run, like, she skied great. Like, she was doing switch sevens. She wasn't just doing switch threes. I love that. So, yeah, I mean, she was definitely a step above the rest of the women's field. Zoe did not ski. So that's obviously a big thing. Yeah. But, yeah, I felt that she won and she deserved to win.
Yeah, and I feel like for both the men's and women's side, it's hard to comment or look at Snow League towards the rest of the season because it's such a limited field, right?
Yeah.
And it was limited, and then people also dropped out or didn't compete or crashed or whatever.
It's also, dude, it's super early in the year for a half pipe event. You know what I mean? Like they're not doing, they haven't done full runs since last year, right? Like whatever the last, like during the training months, whatever, summer, spring, fall, like you're doing one hitters and you're trying to like learn little bits of your run. You're not doing full whole situations. So you could tell people weren't like super sharp. I mean, not just, I'm not trying to just pick on Eileen. Like, no one was super sharp. And that's, that's fine. That's what to expect. Like, we normally did a Copper event this time of year. And it was always just like a warm-up event. Just so happened that this was Snow League and it was a massive event. But you could tell people weren't like, boom. Yeah.
There was probably some tactics on the Eileen side too, where it's like, did she need both flat fives? No.
Yeah.
You know?
She did do them separately, but she did not do them back to back. But
right.
I mean, that's fine. But yeah, so would you give the women's event an A for the OPP?
I don't know. It's hard to say. So it's like the only reason I wouldn't do an A for that one is because of the dropouts and it wasn't a full bracket, right?
Yeah. There was no.
And you
like,
could say that about
stuff.
the men too, but like there wasn't. They didn't have alternates to jump in there, right?
Yeah.
So like, how different would the men's side have been if Gus had to do the first round, right?
Yeah.
Because they had an alternate there to do it. And I get it, logistics of having the event in China and early season, that was probably hard to pull off and get, alternates there. But I hope moving forward that they can slide that in because we'd love to see the whole deal instead of people getting free rides to the next round.
Yeah. And I think they will. You know what I mean? Like, I think this was a let's get a ski event out, and because they're only doing one event, one other event too. They're doing one on the locks. But so yeah, like I'm totally good with that. But yeah, to have a deeper qualifier, more athletes, I think that would be a real thing. And you kind of set up before too, like the weather wasn't great. Like you could tell it was windy. Like there was one time Eileen was just like, yeah, I'm gonna chill just for a minute, and like
sure.
And so there was there were some things that didn't make it in, not Zoe not skiing. I think I would still give it an A. Like I was, if this were a mid-season contest, then maybe I'd give it a B because, like the runs weren't necessarily super tight. But hey, considering where it was in the whole thing, I think I would still give it an A. But I wouldn't, give it maybe quite as healthy of a point allocation as maybe one other A event that we have. Anyway,
I would agree with that. So again, with our list here, the OPP, the Order of Park and Pipe Skiers.
Yeah.
There's a couple like trickle downs. Like number one is, what do you get if you win, right? And if
that's a great question.
If we go back to the other list that is not here anymore, there was a huge banquet award show.
I mean, there kind of was, right? Like they kind of.
but it was a deal. Like it was a deal.
Well, was that Powder Awards or was that?
No, I swear they're like. I think it was the A and the F and the P had like an awards.
I mean, you might be right. Honestly, I don't even remember. Like, you won stuff.
You won stuff. I think what I'm remembering is like Whistler. End of the year Whistler. There would be like an AFP awards night.
You might be right.
Maybe they only did it once. I think I only went once.
Yeah, I never went to
I don't even know if I was invited, but
if it was a social event, chances are I didn't go to it. So that's totally fair. So are you implying, Pete? So what should one win if they win the OPP? So I will say, the first thing that you win is you win the opportunity to ask one of your sponsors to sponsor our list. I think that is for sure probably the most important part. But is there another prize that you have in mind for someone that might win the OPP?
Well, we can't afford an awards banquet, and we can't afford to even bring people together. And so that's kind of farther down the line, maybe. Yeah. But for now, what I'm thinking is, when you're a doctor and a lawyer, and
I'm not either one of those, but I've heard of those.
Yeah, me neither. I've just been in those offices before, right?
That's true. You get that, too often.
You get that you get the sheet of paper, and it's got like the gold stain. Maybe it's embossed. That sounds nice. What do they call that? There's got to be a name for that.
A certificate of commendation, perhaps?
That's it. That's what you're going to get. And we're going to put the gold leaf thing on it, too.
Yep. And parchment will be very fine.
We'll frame it. We'll frame it, too, in that nice, like, oak, mahogany, wood frame.
That does sound
and
nice.
you can hang it in your house, and people will come over and
be or
what is this?
Place of business.
What is this?
Yeah. Pete and I will both sign it.
Yep. In cool cursive, maybe an auto pen.
Yeah, will you sign it? No. There will be real ink there. I think, Pete, I think that is a lovely idea. I think parents and wives and all kinds of people will really appreciate clients, right?
Yeah.
We'll be very impressed by your certificate of commendation.
The reality too is
in the OPP.
If you're winning, the OPP certificate at the end of the year, you got all the trophies and medals and pieces of the aggro crag from Nickelodeon, the Nickelodeon show. You got all that stuff, right? Yep. You don't need any more of that. You
MTV.
Yeah. You need a classy piece of paper to put on the wall.
Yeah, you need something to prove to people, right? Be like, look at my level of commendation.
Yeah. And so athletes, if you're watching, if our Instagram hits you up to get an address, that,
don't ignore that message. Yeah,
please respond to us.
Can we mail things to New Zealand? I guess we can, but it could be expensive, but we'll figure that out.
We'll give it to somebody who's going down there,
Yeah, if it ever gets to that, there's some good kids in New Zealand these days.
Yeah. And then I also think like one of our first sponsors has got to be US Ski and Snowboard, because we're going to be doing this points list for them to make things so much easier.
Yeah, you're welcome.
For them as people stop doing FIS events and start doing these other events. So
they will definitely choose their teams based on the OPP. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and like right off the bat, you're welcome. And number 2 is fund us. You know what I mean? Fund us.
Yeah.
Come on.
The Stifle Pete and Andy talk ski on your TV show. Stiefel? I don't even know how it's pronounced. Maybe that's
I
step
don't
one.
know either. I'd prefer a different sponsor, but whoever's going to pay,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
You're going to choose sponsors at this point. Like,
I'll take whatever.
we're still paying to sell people T-shirts. Put on this show. Anyway, so, okay, did we cover Stubai to your liking?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, and nothing happened there, so I don't think there was much to talk about.
So, I will say, probably by the time this goes live, there will be, you go to fist-sucks.com/rankings, and you will see the leaders of the OPP right there. If it's not there right now, then soon, because I just need to put that on the website. Anyway, but yes, there's also a schedule in case I just updated that recently, actually. If you are curious about when the event is, probably if you're an athlete, because there's no good way to look to see what your schedule is, you can go to fist-sucks.com/rankings, and we have all kinds of things for you. Maybe buy a t-shirt if you want, as we mentioned before. So Pete, is it time to move on to Olympic qualifying?
Yeah, we probably should.
I feel like it's probably time. So, as we mentioned, Stubai Olympic qualifier event, which I guess was great for ladies because they got one, but like dudes didn't have one.
But it's not even great on the women's side because they took qualifier results.
Yeah.
Right? Like nobody likes that. I'm sorry.
Nobody likes that.
The person who ended up in first is probably like, okay, sick. But for everybody else, like nobody likes that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking about this Dubai event.
Totally agree.
It's weather. You can't do anything about it, but come on.
True. But so China, that was an Olympic qualifier. The China Secret Garden Big Air. It's a big place. It's very broad. And we had T-Pod win. We had Mac forehand was fourth, right? Now shoot. I know Grace and Marin. Did they get into the finals, or am I confusing that with Stubai?
No.
Oh man, I had all this stuff up and now I don't.
No, yeah, you're confusing it. They did not make it in. Marin ended up 13th, not in finals, and Grace was pretty far down there too.
Really? I thought Grace was. Oh, am I looking at Big Air? I'm looking at Big Air. Okay, so that was for Stubai. Grace, I believe, was 6th. Marin was 8th in Stubai. Oh, well, I mean, so that's not bad, right? So, having a 6th and an 8th, I mean, at least you've got top 10s to put on your Olympic qualifying resume. But that being said, there's only 3 events left, right? We've got the Steamboat Big Air, which is happening this weekend. There's an Aspen slopestyle, and then there is the Lock slopestyle, right? 3 more slopestyle Olympic qualifying events. There's still 5, right, for half pipe, I think. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we're almost halfway in Olympic qualifying season for slopestyle and Big Air.
Which is crazy to me because it seems like nothing has happened. Like without having the event go off in Stubai, and then we've had a couple Big Airs since then, and then a third Big Air happening almost back to back to back. It's kind of feels weird. It feels weird.
I agree.
Just to me, it feels weird to look at 2 slopestyle events and having those, I feel like they carry so much more weight unless you're T-Pod, right?
Yep.
Who got a big W out of the way, and that event was on criteria.
So let's talk about that, Pete, because I haven't seen anyone mention this. And bear in mind, this is kind of like election day, okay? So this isn't official, but this is unofficial. Where, it's like as soon as the polls close in California, they're like, oh, California goes to, Joe Biden or, Democrats or whatever. But, bro, T-Pod's going to the Olympics. I haven't seen anyone say this, but he is 99.9% chance to go into the Olympics. Bro, T-Pod, congrats. No one's talking about it. Yeah, but you're on the Olympic team. Unofficially, but basically official.
Yeah, and I think to get above him, but also considering there's still 4 spots. Yeah. Right?
Well, there's 3 spots. A-Hall, yeah.
Right. So to get above him, you're going to win out. You're going to win Steamboat, you're going to win Aspen, and you're going to win in Locks.
Yeah, there's only 3 events. 3 events, 2 skiers. Yeah.
It's just It's wild. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild to me. It seems like very fast,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And are we sure
Crazy.
that there wasn't a slope style from last year that was a part of criteria
I
that's adding into
am
it?
quite sure. I was looking. I am one of 3 people that has ever pulled up the criteria on the US Ski Team website
That's true,
and read it
yeah.
over, because that's the kind of ski dork that I am. And I'm telling you that, yeah, it has listed Stubai, Secret Garden, if I'm not confusing it with the other one, which is entirely possible, but I'm pretty sure Secret Garden, and then the other 3 that we mentioned. And yeah, so, and you mentioned this, the only way that T-Pod can't go to the Olympics, right, if people follow the whole thing, is if 3 different Americans win each of the next 3 different events. And then so but here in this weekend in Steamboat, again, if an American not named T-Pod or A Hall doesn't win, then he's definitely in.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they're kind of waiting to announce to see what
Yeah.
shakes down after this event. I also saw an Instagram clip. I forget who it was from. It might have been a snowboarder, so maybe that doesn't transfer, but they were like, yeah, the jump is not bueno.
Really?
Yeah.
In
And then I
Steamboat.
think, yeah, and it was somebody, I forget what they posted, but they were like, when you find out the jump is not going to change, you know?
Yikes.
So we'll see what shakes down there. But I mean, we'll give credit to Mac forehand too. He got a 4th
He
in
did.
Secret Garden. So that's the
Yeah.
top 5 on his resume for the Olympics.
Yes, which is
So that would
huge.
put him in the mix. But boy, when you look at 2 spots potentially already being filled, then you've got Mac, then you've got Colby, then you've got
Connor
Connor
Ralph.
Ralph, Cody LaPlante is
Yep.
still in there. I mean,
Hunter Henderson.
yeah, yeah, Hunter. Oh my gosh, it's like you talk about all these skiers, and there's now we're all of a sudden very quickly down to just 2 spots left.
2
That's
spots.
crazy.
And yeah, so again, like mathematically, it is still possible for someone to beat T-Pod. But I'm telling you, 999 times out of 1,000, T-Pod goes. So I
Yeah.
am putting the flag on the moon, the Pete and Andy flag on the moon right now, being like, T-Pod's going. Like,
And there's the potential he gets bumped down kind of ranking wise into that
yeah,
fourth spot. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like
But
the
by
last spot
yeah,
on the team.
yeah, for the
But
coach's discretion spot. Yeah, but by the way the criteria is written, right, is that he's in, unless like all of a sudden something changes, whatever. But yeah, like so and again, talk about okay, this is the one time, right, I've seen true discretion used. So this is too much information, but Pete and I are ski coaches. This kind of crap. So in 2014. So the 4th place skier was actually Gus Kenworthy, but Torrin Yater Wallace was hurt all of qualifying and didn't have the chance to compete at all. So I think that was the only time that, at least I was coaching, that we used what they call true discretion, where they like jumped over an athlete. But like Torrin's results were so good, right? And that was before we did like qualifying previous year, whatever. So we did jump over Gus. And we put Torrin in. But I remember for slopestyle that year, it was between Alex Schlopey and Joss Christensen. And it was like tiebreaker, and Joss just barely beat him out. But there was still the discussion of like, sure, Joss has the better results, but can we use discretion to bring in Alex Schlopey? The decision was no. Joss ended up winning the Olympics. So that was the right call. But so anyway, like it is very rare that they will use discretion when, someone has actually had the chance to compete in all the events and do the thing. Like it is very rare. So whatever. Yeah. T-Pod,
yeah,
start packing, brother. Don't buy your ticket yet. Start packing.
yeah, but you can pack.
Yeah. So
That's
Pete,
just wild.
it is it is wild. It is almost over. Well, that's not true, but it's half over. Anyway,
Yeah.
So, Pete, I was perusing Instagram the other day, and I don't follow FIS, which is the International Ski Federation, International Ski and Snowboard Federation, whatever, the whole thing, right? People, if you watch this, you probably know what FIS is. Pete is also wearing a FIS Sucks hoodie. I saw a post from FIS congratulating T-Pod on his win. And first World Cup win. Nice. Awesome. That's super nice of them. And I had to stop my doom scrolling just for a second and look at the photo a little bit more closely because I was like, is that AI? Did they use AI to generate this graphic congratulating T-Pod on his win? I mean, so as a photographer, right, like I find this annoying. As a skier, I'm upset. Like, why are we using AI imagery of our athletes? Pete, am I allowed to be upset about this?
Yeah, I think you can. The AI stuff is everywhere, but also we're talking about these are high profile athletes. There's pictures of them everywhere. Real pictures. Or how about a picture from the event or the podium or whatever. Right? There's just, to me, it's like there's no place for that. Why would you make something up? This is so real.
Like what?
Real people doing insane tricks, winning medals, and then you're gonna fake them? You're gonna fake them?
Here's the thing. Like, I understand if you're like trying to sell soda pop, to like kids, like some AI crap or whatever. You're the governing body of a sport. Like, you're not supposed to use AI. Like, imagine if X Games like put up a bunch of like AI photos of their athletes or whatever. Like, people would go insane. Like, could you see the NBA or like the MLB doing that? No. But I feel like
there's no point because this is real. Like, this is like one of the, not the last real things, but this is so real. There's a real human being competing.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, okay, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I look at a lot of photos. I don't think I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So like, I run, like the photo through, some of the, online AI detector things. And yeah, everyone's like, 99% chance this is AI. And I'm just like, what are, like, if I know that they hire photographers and they have people to like do photos. Like, if I worked for them and I saw this, I'd just be like, guys, just ask me. Like, it's either lazy or really, really stupid. Like, it is one of those two things. And I don't know what it is, but just use real photos. Like, why are we faking it? There's so many photos of Teapot out there. Why? I just like screeched a little bit in my voice, but like, why are we doing this? I don't understand what to do with my hands. Why are we faking photos? It gives skiing a bad name. You know what I mean? It's just like, we had to make up some photos of T-Pod because apparently we don't have any good ones because he's not a good skier. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's wild to me. And I think it's I think it's like the not care piece, right? If we start to see more AI photos for like downhill World Cup wins for alpine skiing, then we have a real problem on our hands. But I could probably just equate this to like FIS itself and their media department being like, oh, yeah, we had another free ski event. Let's throw something up there because we just don't care.
Yeah, like, right? Oh, man, yeah, we got to get this up there. And media guys like, I got stuff going on today. Like,
I'm in Solden or wherever for
I don't want to deal with this
alpine event.
It's big air. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would chalk it up to. Just general laziness and lack of caring for our specific discipline.
Yeah. And I wish I could tell you that I'm surprised. And I'm sure, like, I'm certain I'm not the only person that noticed this, but people were like, it's FIS. Like, whatever. Like, they're just gonna do this crap. And so that's the part I'm honestly, like, I'm trying, like, I've complained about FIS a lot on this television program, and I don't want to. Like, I really don't. Like, but, like, when I saw that, I'm like, I can't not say something. Like, this is stupid. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Teapot, if you're hearing this, shoot us a message. Tell us how you felt getting AI-ified or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was probably just on cloud nine after a big W and
Yeah,
care
good for
less.
him.
Yeah.
Maybe his agent or someone should talk to somebody about that. Like real photos, maybe?
What's your coach doing? What's your coach doing? Get him on that.
Yeah. Give him a camera. One of his coaches has a camera. I know it. I've seen his photos.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this weekend, Pete, we got 2 Olympic qualifying events coming up.
Wild.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Are you excited? Because the team's going to be almost chosen for slope and big air at this point.
I know. It's so funny. Slope team chosen after 2 big air events. Right? Is that the headline of our next one?
Probably, yeah.
That's crazy. But no, I'm excited. I hope that there's a good live stream. I think there probably will be, right? U.S. Big Air and Steamboat should be on
they're on
Peacock
a lot of the time.
Yeah, which would be awesome. It was sweet that Snow League, although it was in China, was also streamed on Peacock. That was another big win, I think, for them, is having a good platform to put the show out on. But yeah, a double down with Half Pipe and Secret Garden. I think that'll be sweet. I just looked at the start list. Alex Ferreira isn't there. FMI is in.
I think that's interesting. Yeah. So Alex is just chilling. He was like, China, not for me, bro.
He's probably like, I'm already in Copper. Why am I going all the way to China? I already got a spot on the team. I'm just going to hang in Copper and then do the Copper Grand Prix, which he's notoriously performs very well.
Great at.
I think he skis that pipe well. So
yeah,
I get it for him. But yeah, it should be a good showcase, I think, to see kind of like the full squad, right? We haven't really seen full squad yet. So get everybody out there and
hopefully Ahol goes. Like he's already qualified, but I mean, you got to practice contests. You got to practice contest runs. Like get that engine running. Let's do the whole situation.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun weekend to watch it for me at least.
Yeah, I'm in.
Should be good. Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to say? I think it was just back to the wind wall again.
Yeah.
I might try to diversify some of my bonds and make a wind wall company. Yeah, for the only
it went to a wind wall company.
It would matter at.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Windwall Worldwide. www.windwallworldwide.com.
But you're not going to fund the wind wall at.
No, I'll do it how everybody does it. You make up a concept, an idea, and then somebody actually buys it. And I don't know, you go slam some posts and some